What's going on, everybody? This is Clark Beckham, the runner-up of season 14 on American Idol. We've got part 2 for our top 24 with duets. Let's go. If you'd like to become a member of this channel and be part of the Groove Crew, get exclusive content to a live stream of my immediate reaction. I go through all of my notes, everything I'm about to say, I go through kind of unfiltered and briefly in a live stream for members only. So if you want to be a part of that group, you can click the join button at the bottom of this video. Make sure you're on a computer to see that join button. If you have commitment issues, you can just hit the like and subscribe button and we'll work on the rest later. First performance, we have Jason Warrior. Jason Warrior sounds great, picks a great solo song and then picks a great duet song. PJ Morton actually won a Grammy for Best R&B Performance for the song. So really good choice to do this song with PJ. He's got a great arrangement, a great feel. The band sounds amazing. The thing with Jason is he leaves it all out on the floor, and I think that that's why he does so well in so many different reality shows. He's been on every single singing show that I can think of. Goes kind of far and then doesn't make it all the way. I think maybe the reason for that is he kind of has just one switch and it's 100%. It is all the way. And I'm wondering, does he have a chill button? Does he have a let's just sing the song and get in the groove? Or is it big giant notes, somehow finds his way on his knees and crying and singing at the end every time? That does really well and kills, but sometimes, like in his PJ Morton duet, you just need to sit and chill and just vibe in the song and not go crazy every time. But that being said, he's a great vocalist and he did really well here. Next we have MADISON WATKINS. She sings with Tori Kelly. The first song she does is Holy by Justin Bieber. We've got a lot of up-tempo modern pop songs in this episode. And when I was on, the producers really encourage you to do that. The reason is because they want more viewers, so they're gonna want videos to be found on YouTube. And when people Google songs that are popular now, obviously people are Googling songs by Justin Bieber right now more than they're Googling old songs from back in the day. They want that data point, and they encourage you to do up-tempo stuff a lot because they've got a big stage and all the lights and the production. They want to use it, and they don't want anyone to feel bored and change the channel. So what that looks like is encouraging contestants to do up-tempo modern pop songs. And while that's the kind of star they're looking for, to me it actually has the opposite effect and makes me bored, and I very, very, very rarely like it. MADISON does well here. She does really cool arrangements. Still, I want to know who's doing the arrangements because these are sick. But in the beginning of the song, I'm kind of just sitting my way through it. I'm not really loving it so much. And in the end, it really picks up. Hey, sing! Now when MADISON starts to sing with Tori, she sounds awesome right in the beginning. Tori sings the first line and then she sings the next. Sounds right on par with Tori. Really full voice, sounds great. Tori Kelly hits a run that destroys me. Dear Lord. MADISON does well here. I'm worried because she's so early. Her and Jason both are so early in the show, first and second, and these cuts are steep, going from 24 to 16. I'm really worried she's gonna be forgotten in the votes. But that being said, I always seem to remember her after the show's over. Next we have BEANE. He does a really, 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 really cool arrangement for his solo song. It's an up-tempo modern song, but the arrangement is definitely different. If this was a studio recording, it would smash. For me, on the live stage of American Idol, with the live mix and the band, it didn't do much for me. I wasn't crazy about it. You have to realize, singing live on television is freaking hard. There are a lot of TV productions that won't let you sing live. If they're singing live, like the Macy's Day Parade, you're not allowed to sing live for the Macy's Day Parade. Everyone's lip syncing and you don't have a choice. I had an offer to be in a parade that was gonna be televised and they said, you'll be lip syncing. And I was like, well, I'll just sing live. They said, no, it's really hard to sing live and we're just not gonna take the chance. A lot of people don't even let people sing live because it's so difficult. When you take your voice, you compress it, you throw it up into the sky, into a satellite, it shoots it out to 1 million televisions, and then opens it back up and then sends it through your TV speakers. The quality is just not gonna be quite as good. And it's hard to mix a band as well into the vocal and into the TV. And I'm feeling that disconnect here with BEANE's solo song. I'm not dying over it. But again, if it was a studio recording, if they were really producing and just had a vocal, it would be sick. His duet was great. The live mix isn't doing it for me still, but really showed off his voice well. Maybe better than he has so far with some of the higher notes and the runs and the growls and that stuff. Katie said he has artistic vision and she would invest in him. That's about as good of a compliment you can get. Because you can say someone's great, but the fact that she said that she would invest in him and sign him, that means she sees not just talent, but potential as an artist. And unfortunately, talent is about 10 to 15% of what it takes to actually be a successful artist. And she thinks he's got the full package and would invest in him. That's good news. One other thing about the live mix, we've gotten so used to the really well-produced vocals of Hollywood Week that now jumping into this live mix, I think we've just gotten spoiled with the produced vocals, and now we have a less produced vocal because it's live, and it's just not going to sound as good as Hollywood Week when you can record it, produce it, and then play it in an episode. Just like when I make these videos, I'm speaking into a microphone, editing the video, and then posting it. Versus when I do a live stream, it's the same microphone. It's the same everything. It's just not quite as good because you're actually streaming everything that's happening live. It's the same way with TV. But I've noticed once I get into the show more, I kind of get used to the live mix. I start liking performances better. I think it's just something we're going to get used to. Next is Hannah Everhart, her solo song. She has some pitch issues in the beginning. Her tone is cool, like this deep tone. And then at the end, she loses it, unfortunately. And she actually goes to a different key and ends about a half step higher than the song is. That is due to nerves, excitement, and just not being super experienced with in-ears and this big stage. It's a big deal. She didn't have a lot of experience performing, and it gets her pretty bad here. She's not taking well to the learning curve that is this live show. Now, when she goes into the duet with Jason Aldean, she sounds really, really good. There's a verse that she sings an octave higher than Jason, and she sounds awesome. Now, I'm starting to believe more that the duets are tuned, both the celebrity and the contestant, so that could be why, but she did much, much better in the duet. Mary Jo Young really stood out to me in this episode. I have not been a full-hearted fan of Mary Jo Young yet, and now she's showing me that she can really do this. She doesn't have any experience either. Like Cecil, like Hannah, she's jumping into this for the first time, and she's stepping up to the plate. This cannot be overlooked. The fact that she's stepping up to the plate like this when she has no experience and really delivering it, looks great, sounds great. Very, 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 very impressed. This is the best I've heard her sound. And she's sounding the best she's ever sounded when the stakes are highest and the level of difficulty has never been higher, and she's stepping up to the plate. That's what stars do. Big, big, big ups for her. Chase Beckham is next. His solo song was good. He looks totally comfortable on stage. Polar opposite of a lot of the younger contestants with no performing experience. He's got a lot of performing experience, and it shows here. Looks totally in his element. And then when he sings a duet with Brandon Boyd, it sounds more like his song than Brandon's song. He gets some massive praise from the judges. I think they know where they would market him, and so they're really pushing for him, because when the judges give somebody praise, they know that that's going to help the vote. And to see him doing well, not killing it, but doing well, and the judges responding as if he was just the best thing they've ever heard, kind of shows a little bit that they want to push him forward, and they really believe in him. Colin Jamieson is next. His duet partner is Tori Kelly. His solo song was sweet. First thing I wrote down in my notes, star. At the beginning of the season, when we were first introduced to Colin, I didn't want to like him. I thought he was cheesy and corny and gave me all the boy band vibes and the smile, and I felt like he thought he was hot stuff. But all he's done is step up to the plate and knock it out of the park. And here, again, where the stakes have never been higher and the task at hand has never been more difficult, he's doing better than I've ever heard him. I'm not hearing that extra breathy thing anymore. He's nailing these top notes. He's owning the stage, having a blast, smiling, snapping, moving around, and he's got a great, great voice. Really has a good voice. Starting off with the guitar on his back was really cool. When he brings the guitar around, you can see that he's a little out of his element on the guitar. You can see that it was a prop, which is fine. A bunch of artists use guitar as a prop, and it's not even that integral into the band sound. But it looks cool, so they have it. Right when he brings the guitar around, all of a sudden that star quality in his face fades away a little bit, and you can tell he's thinking about the chords he's playing on guitar. My advice to him, bring the guitar around, know the chords, and just thrash on them, because the band's going big, and and then you see him just kind of plucking the strings instead of like really going for it. And it's because he's worried he's gonna play a wrong note. I have had a show where I have had no confidence in what I'm playing. I've just turned the volume knob on the guitar to 0 and just went for it because it wasn't really needed, and I was just using the guitar as a prop then. I would do that, honestly, if I'm him in that situation, because when he looks more nervous and is starting to pluck the strings softly, you're not gonna hear that in the band, and then you don't look as in control and confident either. So if you would have brought the guitar around and then really did use it as a prop and just started crushing, that'd have been sick. And the guys aren't gonna put you high in the mix if you're not playing well. They won't say anything to you, but I've seen it. When you're playing piano or guitar with the band, if you're not doing so great, they're not gonna let you mess up the band's sound. They're gonna put you low in the mix, or they might even just turn you all the way down and mute you. When you got the guitar, you just gotta own it and you gotta go for it. There's an example I'm trying to think of someone going for it. It's on the guitar, like a guitar solo. That just, I play a guitar solo on my song Big Boy Bruce. It's on my album called Light Year that's available wherever you listen to music, and it sounds like this. He has a really nice melody deviation in the line hollow. So the melody is, 'cause I'm hollow, and he goes, oh. Really, really, really pretty. Just that extra note instead of da, 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 'cause da, da. He smashes. He destroys. Everything he did was great. He's my standout of the night, the star of the night. I think he did the best performance, solo and duet. Next, we have LIAHONA with PJ Morton. She crushes. The solo song, there are small pitch issues, but those are gonna happen even with the best in the world when they're moving and dancing like that. She shows some great choreography. She kills her solo song, moves on to the duet, where her solo song was an up-tempo pop song, which she's the only person who can do that, and I like it. The duet was a real chill, straight-up, bona fide R&B soul song with PJ Morton. And she crooned and ran and just put her buttery voice all over that song. She is a bona fide beast. Luke says she's radio ready. Totally agree. Katie says she's all the things: the dance, the choreography, the songwriting, the piano playing, the singing, everything, the high kick, the splits. She do it all. There's a little segment where she talked about her performance in Hollywood Week that kind of made me rethink what was going on in her head. When she sang with Layla and just was totally defeated, and I really got onto her, and so did Katie. I think it's possible that she was just trying to chant, because it was a sad song, she was just trying to channel the emotion that she felt that her brother was gone, use that to just perform that sad song that way. It came across like she was pouting, but she was doing it on purpose, because that's kind of what the song's about. So it made me rethink, like she wasn't necessarily giving up and having a pity party on stage, perhaps. She thought if she could channel that emotion, it would work for the song. It didn't, but she wasn't giving up. Ava August sings, she sounds better every time I hear her. She did fine on her solo song. The duet was really the standout with Josh Groban. Gorgeous, gorgeous duet. Really great tone, a breath of fresh air. Doesn't do any runs, doesn't do any big notes, doesn't need them. Really communicates the song well. A lot of people's favorite duet of the night was hers. When it comes to tuning, I've gone through a couple thoughts. One, the celebrity duet's tuned and the solo isn't. Two, maybe only the celebrity is tuned and the contestant isn't. Three, maybe the contestant is tuned only when they're singing with the celebrity. What I'm deciding on now, I think they're tuning the entire celebrity duet selectively. Not selectively with people necessarily, but selectively with notes. Some notes I'm hearing that aren't perfect. But when you do tune manually, not automatically. Automatically is a button and it's just across the board. But manually, when you actually go in and change the pitch, it can still be barely off, and you can do it selectively. You don't have to pitch correct every single note. I'll show you what I mean. Now I can take this note and make it, you can see all the notes I'm singing. I can make it higher, I can make it lower. I can do whatever I want with it. Mary had a little lamb. I can go into each individual note here and change whatever I want to change. I make the higher and higher, or right on the money. But the reason I'm saying this, Ava sings a note in this duet. She holds it out and does some vibrato, and there is a very specific trait that you hear that is only due to tuning. There's no way that's her natural voice, and that's when it showed me, okay, we do have some tuning here, undoubtedly. You can hear it, kind of that computer sound where she holds that note love, and it just kind of goes back and forth from a pitch really quickly. Listen really carefully. I really don't know love. That tells me there's tuning right there. That might even have been the feature was turned on but not used, but there's some pitch going on. That's not a sound you're gonna hear from a natural voice, but it's still her voice. Everyone's having this feature, I'm thinking, for the celebrity duet, and she still has a really great performance. Caleb Kennedy sings with Jason Aldean. His solo song, Midnight Rider, was pretty good. I wonder if he's leaning into the rasp a little too much. Also, his hat is below his eyes. I can't see him. They have told him to move his hat so many times. It's that look he likes. I just can't see him. I guarantee the producers and directors are going crazy about get his hat out of his eyes. They've either fought him on it and he said no, or they're gonna fight him on it next time and you won't see that issue happen again. So you gotta see his eyes. He had some pitch issues that bothered me. Sometimes there are gonna be pitch issues that aren't that integral into the song. Here, it was mostly the big notes that had some issues. The judges say he's authentic. I agree. This may be my least favorite performance of his, but he's the only country singer of the top 24 that didn't sing poorly. So he's got a good chance of going through if there is a country vote among the American Idol voters. Hunter Metz is next, sings with Jewel. Right when I see that he's singing Chandelier and has an acoustic guitar, I'm pumped. I know he's gonna have a really sweet arrangement and I'm gonna feel it, and he's gonna emote really well, and that's exactly what happened. They keep talking about stretch for the moment, we want you to take a risk. I am gonna lose my freaking mind if someone tells him to take a risk when he doesn't need to. Luke said, what's great is you can have a bad day, and as long as you're singing, it sounds great. And Lionel said the same. Now listen, I'm all about taking a risk when you're arranging and in rehearsal to try something that's way out of your comfort zone, try it out, see what it sounds like, and then if you see that it's a good shot to take the shot. I'm so scared he's gonna take the critique as, well, it's just about taking a risk, so I hit this note 50% of the time, and then I miss it 50% of the time, so let's do it. That is so the wrong decision when it comes to performing. You wanna do notes that you know you can hit and you know you can kill. In the duet, he looked pretty uncomfortable without the guitar. Looked like he was just on the edge of forgetting the words, but he sounded great as he always does. It's just the thing, as long as his mouth is open and noise is coming out, it's gonna sound good and it's gonna be a good performance. And that's because of the uniqueness of his voice. Last, we have Casey Bishop. Wow. Here's what's interesting about Casey. She is amazing. Her belts, the pitch on her belt are always right, and the vibrato that she brings out is so rich and so beautiful and so freaking impressive. She's gonna sing as long as she wants to professionally. She delivers the moment. She's just a deliverer. It's gonna happen every time. Here's the thing though, rock and roll is deep down in her heart. If there's a rock guitar in the background, you've got a large percentage of American Idol listeners that are gonna go, ah, the rock and roll, stop yelling at me. Where if it was a piano, people would be like, that's nice. You've got successful rockers that were on American Idol, but if she did R&B or pop, I think she'd be the front runner. But because she's doing this genre of rock, I can see it potentially getting in the way of her popularity. Now, should that be a reason that she should change and not do rock? Absolutely not. At the end of the day, you do what's in your heart, you do what you love, you do what you're drawn to, period. Now, if it's both equal, if you love rock just as much as you love R&B and soul and pop, and one seems to be way more profitable, then maybe go that one. But if you're a rocker at heart and the R&B soul thing is cool, but it's not your heart song, then do you. Do your thing. Because if you try to chase creatively what's not authentically you, although you can do it really well, you're gonna end up burned out and not enjoying your career. And that's never good. So she needs to keep doing what she's doing. Would I prefer R&B and soul and pop? Absolutely, big time. A lot of people listening and voting on American Idol aren't gonna like her voice in the package of rock as much as they would like it in the package of a soul, R&B, pop singer. For the duet, I was actually pretty bored the whole time. I didn't love the song. There weren't any big moments for me that I enjoyed. I just didn't feel it. Katie said, make the stage your B word. I was trying to think of another word to say. There really isn't another word to say. And that doesn't necessarily mean just beat stuff up and just thrash all over the place and destroy the equipment on stage. But the mentality of this stage is mine and I'm gonna do whatever I want on it because I'm the boss. And I'm the best person that could possibly be on the stage singing this song. I'm the best in the world. That mentality is necessary and is very advantageous for a performer. I actually really love this comment by Katie, and it goes for everyone. So that's our top 24. Now it goes down to 16. I don't know if it's gonna go 8 each group or just all across the board. But here's my top 16. Now, this is not what I predict. This is my top 16, my favorites, who I would put if I was making a 16. Andrea and Graham are right there for me. Andrea has all the ability, but I don't love her musical choices. Graham has all the musical choices, and I love his voice. He hasn't been super consistent for me vocally so far. I'm really on the fence between those two. I think Ava August is going to make it. She's not in my top 16. If she was singing like she's been singing this whole time, she'd be in there. So she's right on the fence for me. But these are my favorite. We'll see what happens. I'll see you next week. Be good.